of all, thank you for clicking on our video. As always, like and subscribe to see more content on paramotors and follow our journey through the lessons that we learn and the wonderful journeys we encounter as we go along our way. The main focus of today's video is to talk you through the equipment, but also our journey to flying and how we came about the sport and how our journey has progressed so far this year. So to kick off, my name is Richard Zederberg and this is Paramotor Dudes. Paramotoring is a serious sport, but one that is so rewarding if you really do get the chance to fly 5,000 feet above the ground. Something I've always been passionate about in my lifetime is flying. Right from a young age, I used to watch the planes fly over and dream of one day being able to do that myself. And paramotoring has really given me the chance to fulfill my boyhood dream. The great thing about the paramotoring sport is the diversity of the people that do it, but also the flexibility it gives you. I have had a background in fixed wing flying, which requires a lot more planning when it comes to booking out the aircraft, going to the airfield, and some days you can turn up and the wind might not be right. Whereas with a paramotor, I can leave this in the back of my vehicle, be driving home from work, the sun's shining, weather's great, winds are low, and I can literally park up at the field, take my equipment out, and with half an hour, be in the sky. What a sport to be a part of. Paramotoring is absolutely phenomenal, and it still takes my breath away today. Having a 185cc engine strapped to your back and a kite above your head and being able to fly is as free as it gets. The one thing I will say about paramotoring is it's compared to like riding a motorbike in the sky. You really do have a sense of freedom, and talking from experience in flying fixed wing, the sense of enormity in the sky when you're flying one of these is incredible. You're open to the elements, you feel the wind on your face, you experience the smells as you fly over the countryside, and you just get a sense of being alive, and that is something that I've always enjoyed about the sport. I'm relatively new to it. I've only been flying for just under a year now. So I had the end of the summer and the winter, which has given me some fantastic flying, if I'm truthful. The winter I find is a very, very smooth time to fly. Early mornings are absolutely fantastic for us, and you'll see some of the videos on our YouTube channel where we've managed to get above the cloud with very low fog, and it is unbelievable. One thing that I would really like to state about this sport is the scenery is absolutely unparalleled. You don't have a cockpit over you, so you have to experience everything that's in front of you. And also, it gives a really good sense of community with the people on the forums, Facebook. There are many, many avenues to find out about the sport. But I think it's a sport that isn't necessarily widely known to the public. And I think the more people that we can educate and talk about it to, the better it is for the sport, because we can grow this. But I really would encourage anybody to look further into the sport if you are a keen flyer, and really consider it as one of the options open to you. So let me talk you through the equipment, and then I'll give you a bit more about my experiences in flying, and please feel free to ask any questions below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you. So, the front end of the Parajet, this is really where the magic happens. So, starting from the top down, we have a strobe light, which is connected down to the battery pack in my side pouch. That was a 3D printed bracket that I had made for the flight. And yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic, can't fault that. And we may look to market these in the near future through our other streams, but look out for it on the YouTube channel. We will let you know where to find those in the comments below. So going down with the pull start, this is the pull start on this aircraft. We don't have a battery start, although some aircrafts do. I like the fact that it's lightweight without the batteries and the starter motors. I haven't done an in-flight starters yet, but I should imagine it's quite easy. Once this is strapped onto your back, it's pretty much over the shoulder, a couple of pulls, and the engine runs absolutely perfect. Throttle, which I connect to here during travel. So what we have here is aluminium throttle with kill switch, cruise control, which is just a friction screw, which you just turn to set the throttle position, which is really good. Never thought I'd use it, but actually in flight, it is perfect. And I can just stow the throttle between my legs or Velcro it to my strap and take my camera out and take some aerial footage, which is a big bonus. But a very well made throttle. I know on the PAP it was quite flimsy. This is really well engineered. And yeah, you've got the button there for the electric start on the front. So I'll just stow that away. One thing to point out is when you are flying, obviously you've got quite a long throttle cable, as you can see here. I've popped a cable tie just on the inside swing arm here, because I have read stories where the throttle cable has actually gone through the cage and caught in the prop. You wouldn't want that happening in flight, so I've just made sure mine is cable tied here and it can't go back, something that I read up online. So down to the harness. You've got a sort of 4-point strapping system here. So you have a chest strap with a whistle built in. This is to stop the arms sliding down. You then have your central main buckle here, which clicks in. And then you have your leg straps, which are really important and need to be clipped in. Generally, when I'm setting up, I work from the floor up. So I do my leg straps first, make sure they're nice and tight, not so tight that you can't stand up. I then go to the tummy strap and then the chest strap. And that then gives me my own sort of sequence of events that I would expect any other good pilot to follow. Here we have the carabiners, which we clip our wing into. We will do a YouTube video on the wing connection. But again, just pre-flight brief, making sure there's no visual cracks, any damages, and just making sure it's all worthy. On the side here, we have our reserve chute. Some people like to stow these on the front. I've always preferred mine on the side, purely because it doesn't get in my way when I'm launching. But something that is up for discussion maybe later, on whether people prefer the front mounted reserve chute or whether they prefer the side mounted. And then on the left side here, or your right, we have just a small pouch where I have my switch for my strobe and a toolkit and a spare spark plug. Some of you may have watched Tucker Gott's videos where they've landed out and they've maybe blown a plug, so it's always worth carrying one because it's a long way back when you're flying to try and find that. So on the construction of the aircraft, when you're in flight, the pressure is through these carabiners, so that will actually hold you and lift you up. And what you'll notice is as you start to sort of get the flight, in flight you'll notice that this pivots, and that's weight shift. So when you lean your body to the left, you'll notice this pressure comes off and this is on, and that sometimes assists with the turns. So I can be flying hands off on the aircraft, brakes stowed away, and I can literally just cross my legs or shift my weight to one side of the aircraft, and what that will do, that will pivot, and whichever way you lean, it will turn. It will release the pressure on this side and put pressure on this side, which is a really good thing because it means you can relax in flight. And one thing I did find is that as I was training, the more comfortable I got in the paraglider, the more I relaxed, the better the aircraft flew. It really made a difference when I was relaxed. I was quite rigid to start off with, and being rigid never helps. You need to be flexible in these, and you really need to become one with the paramotor and the glider. So yeah, that's a general overview of the aircraft. If you have any questions, you'd like to go over anything more, please comments in below, like and subscribe, and we'll come back with some more video footage for you and try and answer the questions you might have. Just to stress, guys, training is advised. I'm not a trained pilot. I've done this all myself. I've taught myself to fly by reading books and watching YouTube videos, and trying to figure it out myself. I wouldn't necessarily advise that to everybody. It is a dangerous sport, and once you're off the ground, the only person you have to rely on is yourself. And so there are many training schools out there local to myself. There's some really good schools in Surrey, and I would advise contacting them before you go and buy equipment. They will advise you on the best equipment for you. I have literally done this myself, and hope you enjoy the videos. Thank you.